And they'll be talking us through their video a little later, but first we asked them how they got together and what they thought of the English audience they recently encountered on a short UK tour.
Yeah, we've been quite surprised at the way things have gone over here because we were told the audiences were so different, and I mean we didn't really find that, you know. I think what was so great about it was we came over and nobody had heard of the band, so people came along and saw what an emotional fish are, you know, without any hype or whatsoever, you know. It was great. I think we made some friends along the way, you know. It was great. Initially, it was Ender and I had a 4-track recording studio that we just kind of would put down songs and mess around with. And Ender and David started getting together then, and like David's an old friend of mine, so, you know, I was quite surprised, like, what are you guys doing, you know? And the three of us ended up, Martin's an old friend. We auditioned for drummers for ages, you know, and then it just turned up, we said, oh, Martin, you know, would you mind, like,
giving us a hand,
you know, because we're just sick of drummers, you know, so I mean, it just happened that naturally, you know what I mean? We all know each other so long, and it was just
gelled.
Just gelled, yeah. I mean, it wasn't a musician thing we were looking for. It was kind of more of a family unit that we've kind of created here, you know. It's actually quite surprising that it didn't happen like a long time ago, the fact that we got together, you know. Like, mixing the album is kind of like, it's a thing kind of a lot of concentration goes into, because that's the final thing, you know, so it's nice to kind of have a bit of, you know, clean air to breathe, you know. It's nice, yeah. It's very pretty around here, all right. It's terrible for footballs, though, because they keep going in the river, you know. I mean, we've been working for quite a long time, making music and as friends, you know, kind of messing around. I mean, people have talked about struggle. I mean, you know, struggling to get where we are and all that. Well, the struggle for me was working in other jobs like painting and decorating or on building sites or, you know, making music is just like, you know, it's something you just desire and love to do. What? Tim Palmer he's producing the whole album. He's a lunatic like ourselves, basically, you know. We'd met him
in Cork
before we went in to do the album, yeah, for sure, of course. We interrogated him thoroughly, you know, and we found that he was a decent guy, you know.
The thing that struck me about their tape was, firstly, that I really got off on the power of Jared's vocals. He's a very emotional singer, well, hence the title of the band, and they generate a lot of different atmospheres within their music, and they create a lot of tension. And they're a real band, how I regard a real band. There's a lot of bands who are just a selection of people, but they really work together and become a real unit, which I like, and on stage you can really see that coming through, and so obviously we tried to achieve that on record as best we could.
It's really kind of like an expression of like how celebration kind of sometimes just gets that little bit too, goes that little bit too far, and kind of, you know, you forget what you're actually appreciating in the first place, you know. I think it's a fairly positive song, you know, with, like, I'm going home.
She insists that she's a lunatic, closer to the bone. She hardly ever visits upstairs, would rather telephone. Well, I guess beauty does what beauty does best. It's beautiful. Trouble with reality, it's taken far too seriously. I do hope God is good to me, and Santa Claus for the children celebrate. This party's over, I'm going home to celebrate. This party's over, I'm going home.
Well, Peter Scammell directed it. It's basically just the band playing, you know. We weren't really into like flash videos with kind of people going around, you know, walking down the street playing the guitar, you know.
Essential complications are hung up on confused. It's a planet full of traffic lights and traffic light abuse. But that's no stranger than strange, or any other stranger. He claims it's dangerous to be innocent, shoot a victim every time. Histories of insanity intruding on the sane. Celebrate, this party's over, I'm going home. Celebrate, this party's over, I'm going home.
It was a real ghosty kind of place because it had actually been a ballroom before, full of, you know, you could imagine people dancing around there at one time, you know. The fact that it was actually a ballroom kind of, you know, was very good with Celebrate, you know, it kind of really associated well with the song.
And if you like that track, keep